Hi everybody, I'm Yari Cartoni from Experience Plus. We are waiting for Roman, the co-founder of N, to reach us. They had some issues entering, so let's wait for them. Meanwhile, I will ask you to write down your question or anything else using the right sidebar. You can find the chat section in which you can write down anything, the Q&A in which you can push your questions, and also once you find them live, you can raise your hand if you want to enter live. We will wait a little bit for them. Be patient. Hey, Han, are you there?
Hi, I'm here. How are you?
Oh, fine, thanks. We are already live because I started the session, so we don't have the backstage. Let's start explaining people who you are and how to interact with you. There is Anne McKinnon. She is the co-founder of Review Arc, creating platform for artists and fans to enter the virtual concert industry. To interact with her, you have a right sidebar in which you can write down your questions, raise hands, and everything. So if you raise hand, you can be pushed live with her, so you can ask questions directly, or you can write them directly on the Q&A question, and I will tell her. So, and I already have some question for you, and what I said hand, isn't it goes down. So this is one question for you. Which currently is the biggest obstacle in virtual concerts in terms of hardware and implementation?
In terms of implementation, I think there's quite a few challenges. And when we look at what's out there and why we're trying to solve for something that's accessible for all artists, on one side you have these streaming 360 videos, 2D videos, or really hyper-produced ones like Tomorrowland Virtual Concert, which was really great game engine built backgrounds, but essentially a 2D YouTube style integration for viewing. And on the other hand, you have these really complex, beautiful virtual worlds happening like VR Chat, Science Space, Zanzar. And there's a lot of content creation that can happen in there, a lot of social events. But there's no way where these are converging, where you have these great tools for the music industry, whether it's an A&R to go into music discovery and see data about how many people have attended, how many people engage with tracks, for managers to go in and book venues in these virtual worlds, and also for monetization. So to have these few pillars, key pillars, is going to be central for the virtual concert industry.
Okay, okay. So, any other question, guys? Please interact with us. So, if there is no other question, I will have some with it for you. Uh, you made some example of live concerts online, as you said, but how much time do you think will take the leap and make the paradigm shift you talked about the media transition? You think there is more time to wait?
Yeah, I think right now is a very critical point because only recently have you started to see, like on the iPhone 12, LiDAR technology start to be accessible, where you can do live stream 3D volumetric capture. So on one end, again, you have events like Roblox, where it's very like kind of Minecraft-like style for a lot of their users are age 16 and under. And then you also have a lot of artists that want to have more hyper real captures of who they are, the performance. So being able to use technology like your iPhone in the next couple of years is going to be a part of every camera where you can do those live stream 3D capture. So again, when we're looking about how can you implement this in these virtual metaverses for the music industry, for an artist who's just starting out to be able to do the 2D streaming, also for your Travis Scott's and your Dua Lipa's, if they want to do like the Verizon style stage volumetric capture, and in the middle have your like iPhone 12 LiDAR scanning technology. So any level, any scale.
Okay, okay. But talking about virtual concerts, how do you think they will reach the main market? Because mm, I've seen in your speech that you talk about this band that does these cool things with VRs, etc. But I didn't see anywhere else something like that about accepting some experiments from big artists. How much time do you think it will reach the a large audience this kind of approach?
There's 2.7 billion gamers in the world now who are potential virtual concert goers. And a couple of things I mentioned is that they're spending a massive multiplayer online gamers spend about 12 hours in game every week. And they're spending about $160 a year, which is super interesting for the music industry because in general, like I've got my Spotify account and I'll pay $14.99 for the month, but the artists see very little revenue in there. So when you have a ecosystem where you can have musicians come in and perform, and you can have quests and an interactive, fully persistent virtual world where your gamers can also come in and go around, and it's about music discovery, about social experiences, about walking down the street and being able to see a musician play that you've never heard before and go on your way to the main event. And there's I think when we're looking at it, we have all these separate parts right now that are coming together, whether it's gaming or music and social platforms. So when you have these in one fully persistent ecosystem with tools for monetization, integrating performances, this is when we're going to see something very interesting. And if our users come on board and find something, discover new things that they like.
Okay. Okay. But, what do you think will be the major obstacle of integrating things for an audience that is not used to gaming, to virtual things? I don't know. I'm thinking about the boomer generation that is not so used this kind of things. Think about my dad, basically.
Yeah.
Uh, how they can reach this kind of approaches if the market is pushing towards the gaming industry and things like that.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely pointed out one thing that when you look at the user interface, things are way too complicated right now. So in a lot of the virtual reality platforms, you have complex interfaces. It's really expensive hardware for most people. You go in a world and it's not exactly clear about how to find or discover content or how to adjust your settings. Even just unmuting and muting your mic is really challenging for new users. So being able to have something that you go online and it's a web-based, so web browser, so you can go on your a computer, whether it's a PC or a Mac, and just log in through a very simple interface. Should be easier than having to explain how to use your iPhone to your mom or dad. Uh, so definitely having those really beginner tools where people can go in and just enjoy more passive experience. People can also watch on a platform like Twitch and then jump in world if they want to engage further. So having these different viewing experiences, whether someone's on a bus and they want to enjoy a concert with their friends and world, say, hey, I see you in world. This is awesome. I'm like getting to my house in 30 minutes. I'll jump in world and I'll see you there. So having these different laid back or very involved experiences.
Um, what do you think it's the most influencing factor about the? I don't know. It's not a struggling, but the not so much diffusion. This kind of approach. Do you think it's a kind of consumer choices or companies' choices, or progress of technology? Maybe we are not ready enough to maybe make it mainstream. I don't know.
Yeah, I think what's really important here is that we're not trying to disrupt the music industry, but to integrate it. So I think one of the challenges and why we haven't seen something like this yet is that a lot of tech companies are coming in and looking at how to disrupt or to change the music industry. But for major labels, for indie acts, for artists, for the touring circuits that exist for so long, for the smaller venues, the large scale festival circuits, it's a really, really sophisticated system with many different players, whether it's management, publishing, licensing, even just merch, touring, booking, those have to be able to integrate. So I think when we look at what's out there right now, there's nothing that integrates with the music industry. So people who are in those variety of roles can go in and say, this is my role within this ecosystem and platform.
Okay, okay. About your role, I have a question here, a little
Mm-hmm.
provocative, because we were late, so I didn't have the
Yeah,
time to introduce you quite well. Ariana asked, what does your company do? So you can explain what you do in your normal
yeah, of
day job.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my company is Overview Arc. We're making a metaverse for the music industry. It's at the intersection of gaming and music, and it's an ecosystem, fully persistent, interactive, virtual world where it's for music managers, for artists, for venues, for anyone in the music industry, for fans, for gamers to come in and interact with one another and really have this vibrant ecosystem for music discovery and music experiences. You
Okay,
could also
okay.
almost think of it as like a massive multiplayer game, but
Yeah,
yeah, of
but
course.
I always try to fit in the persona of a boomer that when I talk about MMO, they like what? So this is something that it's not so easy for the old generation.
Mhm.
Also, I have
Yeah.
a question from Roberto Baldassar. He says that
Hmm.
he attended a virtual concert from Jean-Michel Jarre.
Yeah.
Uh, and he wasn't co-involved, not happy to see Jean as an avatar.
Hmm.
So he says, he asks you, what do you think will be possible do better? Example for a metal band in a live. What are the
Mhm.
possibilities for a musician that want to go with these approaches?
Yeah. So I was really lucky. I actually got to speak with Jean-Michel Jarre for an article I wrote with VR Scout. And I also spoke with the developers at Vroom, and that would be Tony Vitilio. And they did a really amazing job because it's only, I think they had 2 months to produce this. So it was pre-recorded, and they did do all the avatar capturing and motion capture ahead of time. So because it was a high risk project, they decided to do the pre-recorded, have the avatar, and it was also based on what the artist, so Jean-Michel Jarre, actually wanted for his style. So for instance, he probably worked with the team to have that design for his avatar
Yep.
specifically. But for an artist who wants to have hyper real, there's again different volumetric capture options. Anything from having wearing a full body capture, motion capture suit, and just getting your movement and then overlaying that with an avatar of your choice. Or you can use something like the iPhone 12 for LiDAR scanning, very, very easy to use with apps, and capture yourself in real time exactly as you are. And on the higher end scale, you can use stages like the Microsoft mixed reality capture stage. Verizon has some capture stages. And those are quite usually like what we see in Dua Lipa, very expensive productions. So these are a couple of different options, but for Jean-Michel Jarre, I think it was based on the aesthetic that they had prepared for that event.
Okay, so it was an artistic choice more than a tech limit.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. Fair, fair. I think this was the meaning of the question. So,
Mhm.
another question, please, guys. We'll answer to technical question later. Uh, there is anything else? No. Okay. Ariadna already has another question about your job because she's asking if it's a social platform too, or if it's something. Maybe she. If you I don't think I understand the question. Maybe she asking if you have also a social platform that does things
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, I could absolutely describe a bit more what the overview arc ecosystem looks like. Um, so I guess you can give it a bit of context. Maybe you can think a bit about the as like the Roblox for virtual concerts, where you can hop into any type of virtual concert or event. But the way we differ is that you have the interfaces for the music industry on the back end. You can log in with your own avatar that's hyper real, so you can come in as yourself into the world. And I'm sure for most people, you've probably attended a music festival or like any from large one like Coachella to a small one, like the first days of South by Southwest. So when you go into the overview arc world, what you'll see is like a street, and you might have your jazz club on the right and a merch store on the left, and you'll have your main stage. You might have a social area, so you can log in, walk around, and discover the area as an avatar. You can go into a bar, meet your friends there, discover a new musician, go to your main stage or your main venue, whether let's say it's Universal Music venue, and listen and engage with the performances there. And it's all live and all real time is one of our key. It's about live performance really, and about capturing that magic that when you go to a live event.
Okay, so the simple answer is
Mhm.
yes. It can be also a social
Mhm.
platform, but
Yes.
we prefer to use the term metaverse because it's more on point. I have another question for you. What is
Mhm.
the biggest challenge for you in the development of Overview Arc as a business company in the VR concert field?
Yeah, so I think one thing we started actually experimenting with game engines and live VR concerts, so live performance in 2017 before we ever founded the company. So as you saw in the video with my co-founder Roman
Okay, already asking, they are
first
asking for
concerts we
this kind of
did,
social
and
thing. They're asking if it's like Facebook avenues, but live, live.
sorry, could you repeat that? I think my internet just dipped
Yeah,
out for a second.
they are asking if it's something like FB avenues, but live. Don't know how to
Uh,
interpret this.
Facebook venue, the Oculus venues maybe. Is what I'm thinking. Yes, okay, perfect. Yeah, so for the Oculus events, I think it's Billie Eilish who's done some of those. Again, a lot of them are pre-recorded and they're non-interactive. So what we're really looking for is like a fully persistent, vibrant music-based ecosystem that's almost like a virtual world. Maybe if you think of the when you go into Grand Theft Auto and you can drive around the city and visit different areas, it's much more like that instead of going and watching a passive music experience.
Okay. So another question about the possibilities for I don't know if an emerging band or an affirmed one, but there is a question about what are the possibilities for rock band playing live virtually? It's easy to reach,
Mhm.
expensive. I think it's kind of matter.
Yeah, anyone can join, whether that's your up and coming artist or someone like Jean-Michel Jarre. And there's obviously scale. So if you want to go in and you want to perform at your 300 cap venue, and you're just starting, you're new in the ecosystem, you can either choose just to do 2D stream if you want, or if you have maybe your iPhone 12, you can do a 3D capture performance. So it's intended for everyone. It's not supposed to be exclusive based on budget or hardware accessibility. So for anyone to be able to jump in and then based on your goals, whether you're professional, whether you're just doing a hobbyist music, whether you want to be discovered or meet with managers or maybe publishers or maybe a music reporter in the world, and grow your fan base, this is all something that you can do.
So it's at the reach of everybody, basically, if I understood correctly.
Exactly. If you think of a city like I'm currently in Los Angeles, and if you think of the city on any night, you have your small clubs and your big clubs. Maybe you have the Hollywood Bowl sold out, but you can also go to your corner bar and discover a new one who might be at the Hollywood Bowl in 2 years' time.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Mhm.
So, any other question from the audience?
These
Please
are
be
great
involved.
questions, guys. Thank you for them.
Yeah, it's not so easy because people are shy
Mhm.
and it's
Mhm.
very hard to let them integrate with the Q&A. Okay,
Mhm.
another question. How many people can be in the metaverse, I think simultaneously, maybe?
Yeah, it's a really great question because this is actually it's been very challenging. So when we were doing a lot of prototype last year, we actually experimented users as well. I see that correction there. We worked with a couple different platforms, and we found one of the big limitations was having the same, like having everyone who's coming into the event in the same instance. So what you see, even when like anything from VR chat to Fortnite, you never see more than 40 to 60 people in a single game, and those are
Okay.
called game instances. This is because of the way the servers or networking works. So after you have, let's say the capacity is 40 users or 40 players, it will branch and split, and you will have another version with the next 40 people. So one thing is when you go to any concert and there's 40 people, it's probably going to suck. It's probably a failed event for most artists. But if you have really good networking solution, then you can have 500, maybe 1,000, maybe more. There's some networking solutions that claim up to 10,000 users, but obviously then you have to think about the visual style. So if you have low poly, you might be able to have more users. And low poly just means a very simple design and style of the game, more like Minecraft. But if you have something more like Blade Runner style with like really beautiful graphics and lighting and environment design, you might have to, find a balance there and work with a bit less users. But the idea is that when you go in, you can see other users and meet new people, and it's a successful concert experience.
Yeah, of course. The more they are, better is. So it
Mhm.
basically follows the same rules of MMO as you mentioned.
Yes, yeah. We are working with new networking solutions, which is very exciting. I don't want to say too much about that now, but definitely we are working to make it completely different from what is out there.
No, okay, okay, understood. Another question from Anil Brug. If you have any connection or collaboration with NFT marketplaces, now it's a big question. We're talking to everybody about NFTs. What are the connection with for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like art and monetization is at the very forefront of this. So working with artists to create their digital assets, whether that's merch, single drops, collecting unlockables. These are all integrated with NFT. And essentially, it's a digital asset that's registered on the blockchain that shows its authentication, authenticity of that asset. So these are actually some of the first assets that are being able to move in and out of different metaverses, which is really exciting. So if you buy your avatar some, let's say, mirror shot shoes, and you can walk into our platform, but also walk into another platform with the same shoes. That's going to be definitely a very, very essential part to this. So having that integrated, even art galleries is something we've done before, NFT galleries, promotions, it's absolutely there.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Then I have two questions that I can bring to you in the same time because are from two perspectives. Because I have a question about how users can be involved if you send a headset to VIP attendees. And the other one is from the perspective of the artist, if you have solution already packed for virtual artists. So I think it's the two sides of the same medal.
Sorry, can you say that one more time? I think I missed the first
Yeah,
bit again.
the first one was about users. If you have, I don't know, like VIP accounts in
Mm-hmm.
which, or early bird, I don't know how to say it, but in which you send also the hardware to people, if you can ease the transaction in that way.
So are we talking about the like sale of assets in World?
Yeah, in order to make the user live in your world, Gonzalo Pratas asks if you send VR headsets to VIP users or things like that, if you made an ease of access sending hardwares
Oh,
to some.
hardware.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we actually are PC first. So we're focusing our efforts there just because the adoption of virtual reality accessibility there's still a lot of growth that needs to be done there. So our primary goal is to connect musicians with the 2.7 billion gamers out there in the world, and most of them right now are, PC or console users. Absolutely VR. So if you are a mega fan and you want to go in with your VR headset, yes, there are options for that, but you can also go on your mobile phone, or if you want a laid back experience to watch on Twitch.
Okay, clear, clear. And the other question was for artists, if you have pre-packaged solutions for performing artists, if you have something already packed, I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. So right now, if you want to join, we're in closed beta, so you can go to overvyrock.com and you can sign up for our beta, and we will have some news for you soon. We're really excited to make this really open and really accessible. So if you want to come and join us or reach out to us at any time, you can also contact us at info@overvyrock.com.
Okay, okay, okay. Can you please write down the link here in the chat so they can reach you quickly? Can I ask you this?
Yes,
Oh,
of
perfect, perfect.
course.
Because I don't want to misspell it, so I don't want to direct people to the wrong site.
Let's see.
So they are quickly engaged.
So I'm on my iPad actually with the app, and it seems a little slow, so it's getting there. But
Yeah, 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 no problem. Take your
overvyr.com,
time.
yeah.
No, we are on PCs, and I don't know how the app works, but I can I can imagine that it will be more hard to use it.
I don't know. I will go on my desktop. So by the end of the Q&A, there will
Okay,
be
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a
No
link
problem.
in there.
We can also share the link some way with emails. If you so, if users are interested, can write down their email to us, and we will reach them with the information. So they can ask to us the iOS event site or in any channel in which you've seen this event advertised. So
Yeah, and you can
please reach
always
us if you
reach
have
out to
any.
me on LinkedIn as well. I'm there, so really excited to hear your guys' thoughts, and really excited to see you in the ecosystem as well.
Yeah, of course, you can connect with her directly. Of course, forgot to mention it. Sorry. Yeah. So, any other question? Uh, there's any other one that wants to interact with us, please don't be shy. Okay. We have the last 5 minutes, then we have to close the session. So please up if you want to ask a question.
There we go. I'm stopping in this.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. Oh, perfect, perfect. So anyone is interested in what Anne does and his work, can reach at the links in the bottom. There is also her email, so you are good to go. Oh, we have another question from Sarah Paris. Afayu, I don't know Afayu what it is, but it is about concerts. What about festivals?
I also am not sure what FIU is, but is it about concerts or festivals? And then the next question, do you have any festivals planned? So towards the end of summer, we're actually doing some live VR concerts, and these are some of the ones that these are more like, so we have, I guess, the virtual world ecosystem, which you can access online, but we also have these pop-ups where we do live events with the band Mershaws and others. And the audience comes in, it's a seated event, you have your headset on, and the band is actually playing there live. And on the headset, we use the pass-through camera on board, so we transport you between able to see the band in the live venue, being able to see one another, transitioning to virtual worlds. So let's say during the course, you might fly over a lake or a forest or maybe some crazy city, depending on who the artist is. And then there's also some augmented reality overlays that we use on the pass-through camera. There's projection mapping, haptics, custom sense. So the idea that you're flying over the ocean, you can smell the ocean, you can feel the breeze on your face. So it's a really multi-sensory experience and a new way of discovering it, almost like a live multiplayer event. So we've done some of these starting back actually in 2017. We did Paris and Gaeta Lyrique. We did the Virtual Reality Arts Festival in Hamburg. In 2019, the International Festival Forum. We did one of the Wired events at Barbican. And we're working with Paradigm Agency to book these in for later this year, actual live events in the physical real world towards the end of summer. And then as of now in our virtual world, we've done a number of prototype events and we're going through a development phase right now. So again, if you want to join our beta, we'll receive live notifications.
Okay, okay. So I have another question from Stefano Scarzini. Okay, this is a business question. How generally capital investors, if any, see this field of virtual concerts? Are they doubtful about the future potential, or if they know the potential, the importance of the VR in the music? How is felt from the, I don't know how to say it, high levels of companies?
Yeah, so investors are very excited about this, as are music labels, record labels, anyone from your major to your indie. I know Believe Recordings, they do a lot of European and international. They're extremely engaged in this area of virtual concerts, and also I believe as Universal Meet just hired one of their first game game executives to integrate with gaming industry, and there's a lot of investment going on. They were just did a partnership with Wave, which is focused on celebrity concerts. You had 60 million going into Genies, which does avatars for music industries. There's a lot of hype in this space right now. It's a very exciting time.
Yep, yep, I totally agree. So I hope this is a fulfillful answer. So we are going out of time. We will need to close within 2 minutes. Meanwhile, I wait for the other questions. I would like to advertise you that you can return to the lounge after I end this session, so don't go away. There's a table of networking after this, in which you can talk with our speaker, etc. And so don't leave us. We already have something else going on. Oh, please, last question, and then we have to leave, I think. So please, doing question. I think we we lost the momentum because the people are turning shy, sadly.
Thank you so much also for putting on such a great event. It's been really fun to be part of this, and it's fun making the presentation, and everyone had very, very good questions today.
Okay. I think we can close it if there are no other questions. So you are all free to go to networking because we have only 1 minute left. I want to say, okay. Mm, okay, this
Sorry,
is a
guys, my
critical
camera
thing.
isn't working, so
Yeah,
I apologize.
no, no, but she thanks you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we had struggle coming for the camera. So I want to thank you, Anne, for your time. Thank the audience for being involved in this. And I think we will go to that back networking. To do in order to do that, you will have a button on the upper part of the screen. There is a lounge section in which you can join the table of discussion and do anything you want, talk with anyone you want. Okay? Gwen, thank you for your time. Really appreciated.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are.
Yeah, yeah, it's evening, but we are going straight until 11 p.m., so well, it's a long road. Thank you
No,
very
but
much,
nice work.
everybody. Have a good time.
Bye bye.
Bye.